it is. So let's enjoy the calm before the storms. Alexis, Eric, South Florida. Pretty fantastic out there right now. We're in the mid 70s. Fort Lauderdale, lower 80s. Pembroke Pines, 79 degrees. Miami, 81 in Key West. So not too terribly warm yet, but that shift in the wind direction is going to occur, and that's going to bring us a better chance of showers rolling in from the Atlantic. Right now, winds 3 to 5 miles per hour. Minehouse model pulls those storms starting right around 2, 3, 4 o'clock, and then we know the drill, at least until about 7 o'clock tonight. Then we'll see another round of those storms starting to pop just after midnight. So tomorrow morning may be a bit of a wet one. Well, I bring it to you live right here on Local 10 News. So this morning is the calm before the storms. Make sure you have the rain gear later this afternoon. I know you may be having outdoor activities, but be prepared for those storms. We are in a level 1 flood threat for parts of Broward County. Tomorrow it's more extended in towards Miami-Dade and Broward. It's a level 1 flood threat out of 4, meaning that we could deal with some localized flash flooding. As for rain right now, we're rain free, so let's go to the tropical update. We are watching what's left of what is still Hurricane Imelda. It moved away from Bermuda, but boy, it brought them some heavy rain, gusty winds overnight. It is racing to the east-northeast at 30 miles per hour. There are 2 other areas we are keeping our eyes on as Imelda will continue to turn into a remnant low. One off the coast of Africa, the other one right here in our own backyard near the Bahamas, expected to develop something possibly in the next 2 to 7 days. More on your local forecast coming up.
Okay, Julie, South Florida, shifting gears. Let's take a look at your road. 6:33 on this Thursday morning, and things are still moving slowly. As the morning progresses, things get a little slower out there, right? Let's take a look right here. You are looking at the turnpike going northbound. This is near Southwest 268th Street. You can see that things are moving pretty bumper to bumper in those northbound lanes. Southbound lanes look good. You can always take US 1. These are the areas that are slowing down the most right now, right? It's still pretty early, so things haven't gotten too bad out there, but you can start to see some color on your maps, which means things are slowing down. Let's take a look right here. You're already starting to see some red. Last time I showed you this right here, the Dolphin Expressway going eastbound just east of the Palmetto Expressway. It was orange and now it's red. So definitely consider this as you head out the door. Speeds moving as slow as 11 miles per hour in this area, and it's only getting longer, right? This is not a fun part to your commute. If you take the Dolphin Expressway, you already know it's slow. So take the Airport Expressway instead. Always a good option for you. Let's take you over here to another area where we are seeing some slight delays. This is a little glitchy. There we go. Right here, 95 going southbound just after Atlantic Boulevard. For those of you who take this, it's just a small pocket. Nothing to be too concerned about. Just be aware of it and give yourself some time. Maybe take your coffee to go. Let's take you over here. Drive times. 595 going eastbound. I-75 to US 1, 12 minutes. University Drive to US 1, 7. Be safe. All righty, let's take a look right here. You do have an accident, Broward County. This is on I-95 going southbound near Cypress Creek Road. You can see the flashing lights. They did have 2 lanes blocked here, and it seems like they've moved over to the shoulder. You may have 1 right lane blocked there, but let's take a look on your maps to see how things are slowing down in that area. This is where that accident is happening. That red is really starting to move further north. It's just after you cross Atlantic Boulevard. You can see as you get a little further down south, things start to open up, but definitely be aware of this. It just seems like those 2 right lanes have opened and they moved over to the shoulder, but something I'll continue to keep an eye on here. If you want to avoid this, my friends who take this as part of your morning commute, you can take Powerline Road or US 1. US 1 right here actually, or right here on this side of me. You can see that it looks a lot better for you if you're heading southbound. Let's take you over here to another area we're seeing some heavy delays. This is the Dolphin Expressway going eastbound. It's just after the Palmetto Expressway where you are seeing all of this red. Speeds here coming in as slowly as, let's see if this wants to work with me, 14 miles per hour. So that's no fun to sit in. You can take the Airport Expressway if you'd like to avoid this, as these delays are moving further and further east. Let's take you to some drive times, my friends who take the Palmetto Expressway going southbound. Northwest 154th Street to the Dolphin will take you 30 minutes, and I-75 to the Dolphin will take you 31. Be safe out there. Buckle up. We'll be right back.
All right, so we're watching Hurricane Imelda. The system has winds of 85 miles per hour racing to the east-northeast at 30 miles per hour, expected to basically stay over the open waters of the Atlantic. So now we can turn our attention to 2 areas that we are going to be talking about in the next 7 to 10 days. One off the coast of Africa and the other one a little closer to home. I'm not surprised to see this because we have a lot of disturbed weather just around our area. This area will possibly be something we'll be talking about developing in the next 2 to 7 days. More on your local forecast coming up.
All righty, happy golden hour, happy Thursday. Let's take a look at this accident here that's moved over to your shoulder. You can see it's not causing you many delays. Car's still moving pretty slowly. This is 95 going southbound near Cypress Creek Road. You can see those flashing lights to the right there. It seems like a few cars involved here, but nothing too serious. Let's take you over to your map so you can see that area, so you can see how things are starting to clear up a bit. You had, well, actually, it's pretty red right there, so I take back what I said. It's not clearing up. It's moving slowly, but they are over to your right shoulder, no longer in your two right lanes, so that's definitely good news. Things are moving okay for you here. Speeds coming in as slowly as 17 miles per hour. Your alternates would be either Powerline Road right here, or you can take US 1 right over here. You can see your southbound lanes and both look pretty good. Let's take you to another area here where you are seeing some delays. This is further down south by Miami-Dade, friends. This is the turnpike going northbound just after Southwest 152nd Street. You can see that you do have a pocket of red here. It's no fun to sit in any red this morning, but this one's not so bad. 14 miles per hour is what you're seeing here. If you'd like to avoid this, you can take US 1. US 1 does have its pockets of red down here, but it's definitely not as bad as the turnpike starting really further down south. Let's take you to some drive times here. Those of you who take the Palmetto Expressway, this is going southbound, Northwest 154th Street to the Dolphin, 30 minutes. I-75 to the Dolphin, 31. Be safe.
There over Hollywood Beach, Julie.
Yeah, it looks just like that here of Alex and Andrew in our Fort Lauderdale. Looks wonderful. It really looks wonderful anywhere you are along the coastline because we just have clouds in the distance. And in the distance, though, is where we're seeing the disturbed weather that's going to be headed our way once our winds do shift in from the northeast. Still have some time, though. Enjoy this beautiful start. A lot of you may be headed out for some plans this morning. Well, you can do so. Go for a walk, go for a run, whatever you have planned. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 70s. Nice and mild out there and beautiful, as you can see from our Hollywood Beach cam. Now, things will start to change this afternoon as the winds move in from the northeast. But for right now, it's perfect out there. I call it perfection when you see a day like that to start off, because as we end it, unfortunately, it's not going to be so perfect. Showers and storms expected to become scattered to widespread as we go into the 3, 4, 5 o'clock hour, and it stays with us through the overnight hours. So you can see rainfall chances lowest this morning, highest once we get into 2 till about 6 o'clock. So that puts us in that marginal threat for some flooding across parts of Broward County today. That's level 1. Level 1 extends into Miami-Dade tomorrow, and level 1 for you on Saturday. So with that rain around, we have to be aware and make sure you have the rain gear handy later today. Let's go to the tropics. We are tracking what is still left of hurricane Imelda. 85 mile per hour winds racing east northeast at 30 miles per hour. It's going to become a fish storm and basically move away. The damage it did already for Bermuda is starting to exit. There are 2 new areas we were talking about in the tropics, one pretty close to home. We have meteorologist John Gerard having a lot more on this coming up in 15 minutes.
Alrighty, 7:34, and we are taking a look at your road, South Florida. Right now, you do have an accident here on the ramp from US 441 to I-95 going southbound. You can see they've moved over to the right shoulder here. There's an ambulance there and an FDOT car, several cars involved here. They're working to get this cleaned up for you. But the good news is it's not causing any delays for you. Hopefully everybody involved is okay. You can see right there that little pocket of orange on 441 as you jump onto 95. That is where you are seeing that accident right there. So you could take a look at the Golden Glades interchange here. Always congested at this hour in the morning. Your southbound lanes on 95 also moving pretty slowly, but not too bad. Let's take you to another area in Broward County where you are seeing some delays. 95 going southbound. This was because of an accident that you moved over to your right shoulder here. This is just around Atlantic Boulevard. You can see it's not too bad. It's been like this for quite some time now, but the good news is that the accident isn't on your main roads anymore, right? They've moved over to the shoulder. If you want to avoid this, you can take US 1, take a look. Things look good. Also Powerline Road, a good option for you if you're heading south. Let's take you over here. Drive times. For those of you who take 595 going eastbound, it'll take you about 14 to 8 minutes to get you where you need to go. Buckle up.
Here's Julie to talk about the rain we may get from that little disturbance over the Bahamas, right, Julie?
Yeah, that's right, John, and you're right. We really ingrained in our school was Milton, because even though we didn't have to deal with the actual direct impacts, we had the line of tornadoes that took over the state of Florida with those outer feeder bands. So as you heard John mention, we never let our guard down, and we still have a long way to go. And especially now that we have the unsettled weather pattern returning back to our forecast with the disturbed weather that the National Hurricane Center is watching, it'll be a smart idea for you to just go over your plans. As for today, you have a lot of time to think about all that stuff and get your outdoor activities done, because we're not expecting much in the way of strong storms until this afternoon, which is good. That's going to change tomorrow. Once we start to see these storms rolling in, I think we're going to start to see a deluge of storms for the overnight hours and going into tomorrow. So again, now's the time, the calm before the storms, that you can get outside. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 70s. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Key West, our dew points are in the mid 70s. Winds are moving in from the north, so it still feels nice out there. Temperature feel like mid 70s and lower 80s. Here's a part of the disturbance that we are talking about, the first one that's expected to move in. Moisture content is high. Showers and storms expected in the forecast this afternoon after 3 o'clock. And then look, it just continues to funnel in. A nonstop rain looks as though it'll be into our forecast with this in-house model by tonight and tomorrow. And then the stormy setup stays with us with localized flooding possible as our winds move in from the northeast. And, you know, we typically don't end the rainy season until October 15th, so we still have a little while to go. Flooding concerns today. We have a level 1 flood threat in Broward. Miami-Dade is extended into it tomorrow, meaning we could see some flash flooding as we go into the afternoon hours. And then as we go into the afternoon hours and tomorrow and Saturday, we're expecting the possibility of getting about 2 to 4 inches of rain in some isolated areas. So keep that rain gear handy, my friends. You're going to need it.
Alrighty, South Florida. Now we're taking a look at your roads. You do have an accident here on 95 going southbound. This right here is the ramp from 441 to I-95 southbound, rather. You can see right here there's several ambulances on the scene as well as some FDOT vehicles there. They were blocking this ramp, but it has since opened. You can see that they've pulled over there to this pocket so that you don't have any delays out there. But nonetheless, it is the Golden Glades interchange, so you are always going to have some delays. But you can see right there, you see where 441 is right here? That is where that accident happened as you jump onto 95, and you can see the Golden Glades interchange already getting pretty congested. Nothing unusual for this time in the morning. Let's take you over here to an area we did have an accident, and things are still moving pretty slowly, but the accident has since cleared. It's moved over to your right shoulder, so you'll see those flashing lights, but it's not causing any obstructions to your roadways there. So you can see you've got lots of red right there as you approach Atlantic Boulevard, and it continues for just a bit, and then things start to clear up. Things moving as slowly as 17 miles per hour. Your alternates here would be Powerline Road or US 1. Definitely better options if you don't want to sit in this pocket of red. Let's take you over here. Drive times for those of you who take 595, I-75 to US 1 going eastbound will take you 13 minutes. University Drive to US 17. Be safe out there.